Good evening, everybody.
I look really short in this chair, don't I? Well, let's see if I can pop it up a bit. Oh, that didn't work out very well. Hi, guys.
Hello,
Hi,
everybody. Hey, Scott. Not sure who else we have in here, but hope everybody's doing well. Just start off with to let you know where we're at. Our community is doing well. We're slowly recovering from some of the side effects of the flooding from last week.
All the restrictions have been lifted.
Yeah, we got water back. The water restrictions were lifted last week. We finally have
no gasoline restrictions.
No gas restrictions. Everybody, there's plenty of gas at the gas stations. Internet's back. Phone is back.
Well, it didn't work very good today, but
yeah, for the most part,
yeah.
Cell phone is back. Both internet services are back. So, with that said, I gotta apologize to all of our regular viewers who wondered what happened this past Saturday when we didn't have a video. Well, that was definitely an effect of the storm. We were without internet. I could do some editing here locally, but actually finishing a video to put out last Saturday, I could not do. Still working on one to get out for this Saturday because there's been a lot of things going on. But as our title suggests, we have been watching the progress of Milton since this weekend when it became a hurricane, when it went from people saying, they didn't think it was going to do anything to becoming a tropical depression, tropical storm,
fastest
hurricane, Cat 5 hurricane, and then its path across the Gulf.
It was the fastest growing hurricane from a tropical storm.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's just like the perfect storm as far as the growth of that storm.
And it's very fast moving too.
Yeah, and it's fairly fast moving. And for us, it's kind of personal because we lived in the Tampa Bay area for many years. And I lived in Bradenton, and we've got lots and lots of friends all over that area.
We do. We do.
So
some loved ones in Sarasota.
Yeah. We've got good friends in Sarasota who are getting the brunt of it right now.
Yes.
It looks like it's best we can tell it's making landfall right at Sarasota. But we've got friends in Clearwater and St. Pete and Tampa, Riverview, Bradenton, all over that area. Lots of friends. So our hearts and prayers go out to you guys. Hope everyone either evacuated or is hunkered down and got your batten down the hatches and riding out the storm, because it's no joke. It's a big one.
Yeah, it is.
Been spawning tornadoes all over Florida. Extremely high winds. I know they had 100-mile-an-hour winds in St. Pete. So, yeah, definitely. I'm going to throw this up on the screen real quick. Looking at the from WFLA, their wobble tracker shows the path of this storm.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's updated to 9 o'clock. So,
hello, Ohio Travels with Chris.
Hello, Chris. Welcome in. Throw you up there, and we also have Scott Smith in. Welcome. I hope you guys are doing well in your respective areas. But we're going to talk a little bit about this tonight. You know, that's a huge storm, and only just downgraded maybe 4 or 5 hours ago from a Cat 5. Because did
it go back to a Cat 5 this morning?
Yeah, it went back to a Cat 5 today, and was a Cat 5 for a little while, then dropped to 4, and it's been jinking and jiving all over the place.
Looks like they're projecting it to straighten out a little bit.
Yeah, originally they thought it was going to hit the St. Pete area, and that would have been devastating for Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah, because they still had a whole bunch of debris left over from Helene.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's going to get blown around no matter what. But if it had hit if the eye had hit north of the entrance to Tampa Bay, all that storm surge would have been forced into the bay and flooded. They were saying yesterday it could flood 1 million homes.
And that would have been the 100-year flood,
right?
For that, which we just experienced here.
Well, not here.
Well,
but,
Asheville.
Yeah, in this area for sure. But for whatever reason, Tampa Bay has definitely dodged a bullet yet again, and so now they've this thing has moved on and hit south. But I'll bring this up in a minute.
I liked what you said about the whatever. I forgot what it said. It started with C.
Mm-hmm.
The tombs or something you said about why Tampa was so lucky or something.
Oh, yeah. I've been watching a lot of the live streams and things like that, and there were a lot of people on there that were talking about the Tocobaga Indians and the Indian burial mounds, and how there was something. I don't know the full story behind it, but apparently there was some kind of protection of Tampa Bay by some kind of agreement with the Tocobagas. I'm not sure. Not sure about all that, but once again,
sounds good.
Tampa itself has dodged a bullet, but unfortunately, that means that other somewhat less populated areas like Bradenton, Sarasota, Venice, that area are getting hit especially hard. And I did hear him say earlier that it's not the last time Sarasota took a direct hit by a hurricane was back in the 1940s. So
really,
once again,
hey Eddie,
hello Eddie, welcome in tonight. So anyway, our thoughts and prayers are definitely with all our friends there. Hope everyone is safe, staying safe, and makes it through this storm with as little damage as possible. So,
yes,
yeah, it's definitely a concern for us tonight as we go live.
I always was under the impression that hurricane season started June 1st and ended October 31st. And I would have bet money the other day. And my friend that I was with just kept insisting. And I looked it up and I did not know. It actually went to November 30th. And then I brought it up to you and you're like, yeah, November, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no way. And he looked at it. Yep, sure enough.
Yeah. Well,
I was always under the impression that September was the most active, but October was the most destructive. And so when I lived in South Florida as well, that's what I kind of recall as I was living there. I don't remember anything in November though.
It's pretty rare to see hurricanes in November, but it does happen, and it's still warm enough in the Caribbean. Yeah, Eddie says some folks, some are okay, some are really bad. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
For sure. But with that said, let's talk about our recovery here in North Carolina and what's been going on, the things that we've seen.
Community-wise, a lot of people have really gotten together and banded together and have really helped with hurricane relief.
Yes.
And donations and really just stepping up and helping people. And I think that's wonderful.
And the people not just here locally in the community, but from the country have been doing things. I was talking to a friend the other day who came into the brewery, and he said that he'd been working for the past 2 days at our little Jackson County airport. And said that there were hundreds of planes flying in there from all over the country from Texas and Nebraska
Mhm.
and all over the place, and they were flying in, and they were just dropping off relief supplies.
And I read that they were landing every 2 minutes and 53 seconds,
Wow.
whereas Asheville does every 6 minutes and 30 seconds. So that was
And
quite impressive.
so we're talking a tiny little airport.
Like an airstrip
Yeah,
almost.
it's an airstrip on top of a mountain. Where these planes would just land, they'd unload them as fast as they could, and the planes would take off and go back home. And I know a lot of relief supplies have been ferried from where we live over to the adjoining counties that have had significant damage. Most of that is from Asheville West.
Well, and you're going to show
or
kind
Asheville
of
East.
some
Yeah.
of those areas here in just a minute.
I do have a map that I'm going to put up in a little bit, but to preface that just a little bit, I believe it was Saturday after the storm came through, after Helene came through. The governor of North Carolina held a press conference and said that Western North Carolina was closed and nobody should travel to Western North Carolina. Understandable, but for those of us in areas that were less affected by Helene, that's like a 1-2 punch.
You have a lot of small business, family-run establishments around the area that what's the word I'm looking for?
They rely on
That's a good one.
tourism. This October is the busiest tourist month in our county and in most of Western North Carolina, mainly because it's leaf season. So that's when people come up to go to the Smoky Mountain Parkway. They go on the Blue Ridge Parkway, or they go to the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, the Blue Ridge Parkway, to all of the beautiful mountains that we have around here. And the neat thing is that the color changes at elevations in different times. So pretty much for the entire month of October, you can, in the beginning of October, you can go to the higher elevations and see the leaves changing. And then as you go through the month, you come down lower and lower elevations to see those leaf changes. So that's the reason why we have a lot of tourism in October. It is our busiest month of the year. And not just for us, but for the thousands of small businesses that are tourism related or get a good portion of their revenue through tourism. Rely on October to kind of make or break their year.
So tell me, for the people that don't know, where does Western North Carolina start?
Good question. Probably, if we look at this map, and we can throw it up. Let me throw up this map. This is the current road and travel closures in North Carolina. So if you look at this map, kind of in the middle towards the top, you have Boone here. So most people would consider Boone part of Western North Carolina.
Okay. So come down that line.
Yeah. So in the red.
So all of the red would start the west.
Yeah, that's pretty much starts Western North Carolina there in the red. Of course, Asheville's kind of in the center here, and Asheville is one of the hardest hit areas.
Yes. Flooding.
With flooding, but certainly not the hardest hit, because you've got Lake Lure and Chimney Rock Village, Bat Cave, Canton. Canton was flooded for the second time in 3 years.
Yeah.
We have some friends that own a brewery over there, and their brewery was completely flooded for the second time, and just completely devastating to those folks. Last time it was a hurricane that came through, had a microburst um, that flooded a little cove up in the mountains, and all that flood water came down.
You know where the dam was that broke?
Where was a dam that broke? I'm not entirely sure. I can't keep up with all the news, but
as even though we have electric power, cell, internet, and all that, I still feel very disconnected. I really do.
It's sometimes you get into almost information overload because there's such a wide area, and we don't sit around and watch the news. And unless you're looking at a map, I don't know where a lot of these places are. Some of them I've been to before, but a lot of them I haven't. But I-40, which runs through Asheville and then goes through Haywood County and out into Tennessee, that area between the Tennessee border and pretty much the Clyde area, there are numerous areas where the road's washed out and completely impassable. And
that's
they're saying,
I-40.
On I-40, and it could be over a year before that's reopened.
Yep. And that's a pretty heavily traveled area.
Yeah.
From
I-40 is
to get to the east of Tennessee. Is it East Tennessee?
East Tennessee. Yeah, that goes. It goes basically from Asheville to Knoxville.
Yeah.
And then on. It goes all the way to the East Coast, and then it'll go all the way out to the West Coast.
So tell everybody what they're seeing in this map here.
So what you're seeing in this map here is the counties that are kind of grayed out, and with the red outlines. Those are what the NCDOT is currently saying are travel restricted or possible travel issues. If you look up here on top of where it says US 441 open, there's a circle. Yeah, there's a circle with a dash through it. I think that is an actual road closure. So.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yeah, because that's where I-40 would be.
Yeah.
And then also up here in Madison County, there's another one. And I believe that's I-26 going into
that's where
into Tennessee. That's where another road collapsed.
Yeah,
or sinkhole maybe.
Sinkhole, yeah.
But as you can see, looking to the west here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counties that are in the green, and that's basically far western North Carolina, which includes.
That's where we are.
That's where we are. Yep. Which includes the Great Smoky Mountain National Park and
I did hear
the Nantahala Forest, the Nantahala Gorge, lots of these beautiful areas that people like to come to. So part of what we want to talk about tonight is the fact that if you want to help out, you can help support these small businesses that are supporting the relief efforts in our neighboring counties.
Right. And then, the travel and tourism, department was pretty much saying, like, don't cancel your plans, maybe postpone them.
Right.
Or change them.
That's, was it Visit Jackson County? Something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. So our local travel and tourism department, we're both part of our local Main Street organization.
Like, we don't want to say that there's everything is perfect and roses and all that, but because we're trying for full transparency here, that there are still,
and it's not areas, it's not just us. I mean, there are literally thousands of businesses in these 6 counties that are open for business, and they're
and because of that
ready.
Statement that the governor made, a lot of people were canceling their plans to come out this way. And so by kind of talking this out and just letting you know that, yes, there's quite a bit that's still available.
Yeah.
If people do still want to come
out.
So
this is, as much as anything, a public service announcement to everybody out there that far western North Carolina is open. And yes, you can get to it. If you look down here at the bottom of the map, where it says the US 441 open. This this road goes
On the bottom.
yeah, I think they should be able to see my cursor here.
Oh, okay.
That goes to Clayton, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And if you follow it on down, you'll get to Atlanta.
Yeah.
You can get to Atlanta that way. Over here in the west, you've got Murphy, North Carolina, and this goes out and you can get to Cleveland, Tennessee.
How come Murphy's not on there?
I don't know. It doesn't have Murphy, but Murphy's right around here.
Yeah.
And right here, this roadway goes through the Smoky Mountain National Park and on to Gatlinburg. So you've got a number of areas where you can get to Western North Carolina fairly easily. It's how many people, especially people from Georgia or Tennessee, would come over into this area. So, or if you can go through Georgia or Tennessee.
And I did hear yesterday, and again, this is hearsay. I haven't actually looked it up to verify it for myself, but I was told that the Parkway was open.
Okay.
It was originally closed, but I believe.
And even if you look at I-26, which comes from the Greenville-Spartanburg area down here, it's open all the way to Asheville.
Well, there's some limitation there.
You actually go through West Asheville, and then you can take I-40 over to Clyde here, and then take the Smoky Mountain Expressway over to Silva and over to this area. So there are plenty of ways to get to this area. And like I say, this is the most beautiful time of the year here. That's why it is our busiest tourist season. Mm-hmm. I know we've got most of the hotels are open and have vacancies. No, they don't have any vacancies.
I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but in our meeting tonight, we spoke about that.
Yeah.
A lot of the hotels are open for employees that are commuting to Asheville for work. So it wasn't the first responders. That's why your dad's reservation was canceled. It was because of the people that are coming from Asheville, staying in those areas. There is in the downtown. It's the Hotel Silva has vacancy.
Okay.
That's the only one that I am aware of in our area, in our town, as of right now. So
most of those people are those people that work at WCU or
no, in Asheville.
No. Well, where are they going to work in Asheville?
I don't know. I'm just relaying message that we had a meeting today about that stuff, and there were city of people there, town people that would specifically know that kind of stuff. So
well, even so, that was one hotel, right? It's not all the hotels. I'm
just make sure that you check, because they're
definitely check.
They are trying to be available for people that have been displaced and that are trying to work and commute to work. That was the understanding that I got from that conversation.
Okay.
Because I thought it was first responders, which is why I questioned that. And I was like, well, what do you mean employees?
Well, that's what my dad said.
Right.
Yeah, my dad came in town this past weekend, and he had a reservation at a hotel. Why? I don't know. He's always welcome to stay with us, but
maybe he wants his privacy.
Maybe he wants his privacy. I don't know.
Or maybe he just doesn't like us all that much. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. But then he got a call from the hotel and said that they were canceling his reservation. But he was just staying there for one night.
Two.
Well, one at the beginning, one at the end.
Yeah.
Because he was getting in late on Thursday night, and then he was going to leave early Tuesday morning. Right. So he wanted kind of like his own space so he could do what he wanted and get in as late as he happened to get in and not disturb us, I guess. But anyway, so they canceled his reservation, and he said that he thought it was for
first
responders or relief workers or something like that were needing a place to stay. But I guess that's...
So just do your homework a little bit.
I mean, like anything else, look for a hotel. Mm-hmm. Because you'll be able to find one somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure there's Airbnb still.
Yeah, because I mean,
places around.
There's still Franklin. I mean, Here's Silva. You've got Cherokee. Well, here's Silva. You've got Cherokee up here.
That's
and
confusing
Cherokee-
because you got Cherokee County,
Yeah.
but
Well, the Qualla boundary, the Cherokee Indian Reservation, which is right on the southern edge of the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, and they have thousands of hotel rooms there. So
yes,
there's definitely plenty of places to stay.
yes.
And then, of course, there's all the little boutique hotels and neat little places to stay around. So there's always places to stay. But basically what this is all about is to tell you that far western North Carolina, the most beautiful part of the state,
I mean,
is
I
open
think
for
so.
business. Yeah. We have, like I said, thousands of small businesses, from hotels, restaurants, breweries,
Boutiques
and gift shops,
antique places,
and travel related businesses. The Great Smoky Mountain Railroad. You've got tour companies. You've got of course, the Cherokee Indian Reservation, Harris Cherokee Casino in Cherokee, and also one in Murphy. And there are still festivals that are going on in this part of the
a lot of the
North
immediate
Carolina.
stuff was canceled, but some of the later
Yeah.
things are they're continuing with.
Yeah, that first Saturday there were quite a few festivals canceled.
Right, because we also want to be sensitive to the needs of
Right.
our neighbors and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
So
But this past Saturday, we went to Hayesville, which let's see,
Clay County, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's down around here, to the Hayesville Steins and Wines, which was a little festival that they held there.
Fundraiser.
And it was actually a fundraiser for...
Well, they changed it.
They changed it. Originally, It was a fundraiser for the...
for Hayesville.
Downtown. Downtown Hayesville, or Hayesville Main Street Association, or...
They're not specifically
Main Street. Okay.
Anyway, so... but they've decided...
Downtown Hayesville.
Yeah.
And then they decided to
donate all of the
proceeds
to hurricane relief.
Yeah. So, there are a lot of things like that if you come to those events and those festivals, the money that you spend is going directly back into this local economy, which has been hit extremely hard.
Mm-hmm. And so we have a treat street on October 31st. And we have decided to do something with along those lines as well, to make it like a donation kind of, or to kind of give back. I think they're going to try and gear it towards kids.
Okay.
So like school supplies, because there's kids that I don't know if there's some, from what I understand, some of the elementary school kids are going to the high school or something like that to kind of learn, but I don't know, because I was like, I didn't even think of that. Like, what happens to the kids that are in school? Like if they're
like in Canton or Asheville or all these areas.
So kind of stuff like that, and maybe just something like that.
Right.
We're still kind of putting it together, but
okay.
So we're gonna try and help out still.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So just so you know, the Treat Street is something that we do locally. The local businesses hand out Halloween candy.
They shut down the road.
Kids can come downtown.
It's definitely a community event that is
yeah.
very well received by the kids and the families.
Yeah, because in the area that we live, there are no neighborhoods.
It's kind of
where you can go trick or treating.
Yeah.
And
that's the closest thing that they could get to like going place to place, trick or treating, and everybody dresses
like
up.
I did growing up. You go to door, and before you know it, you got your whole pillowcase full of candy. Yep. But
and then you're like looking it over your shoulder, like, oh my god, it's getting so heavy. But yeah,
got to run run from the neighborhood bullies. So they try to steal
they
your
try to do
candy.
your candy. Oh my god.
Uh,
So here's
but
something.
anyway,
It's so off topic, but I have to ask. Where I am from originally, they had something that they called Gate Night, which was the night before Halloween.
okay.
Anybody that's out there listening, or even if you're watching, it not live or later on, put in the comments and tell me if you know what Gate Night is.
Gate, like Gate.
Yes.
All right.
Gate Night.
So I'm a good Southern boy. I never heard of Gate Night. But...
You just said cow tipping.
I never did any cow tipping.
No.
Or went on any snipe hunts. So.
Or any what?
Snipe hunts.
What's that?
I don't know. About the same thing as cow tipping.
Oh, okay. So.
Where you trick someone into doing something silly.
Okay.
But
so
anyway.
And if anybody wants to know what it is, leave us a comment and I will tell you what we did or what Gate Night was.
Gate Night. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you want a good little vacation? Come to far western North Carolina.
Yeah.
Visit the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. And if you feel like it, drive over to Gatlinburg and enjoy the theme park of the mountains.
I believe they're open.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about.
I think so. I haven't
heard anything about that.
Yeah. I think it probably is, but yeah. If you got to go to Gatlinburg, you can see
you gotta go to Gatlinburg.
You can see the touristy side, Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge.
You can watch our video on Gatlinburg.
You
can see some of it. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of neat.
Keisto was pretty cool.
It's very much. I mean, it's like
it's very touristy.
Wall to wall touristy stuff. Yeah. Come to the southern side of the mountains here in North Carolina, and you can see the old school stuff.
He's really selling it hard, y'all. I think you should just come.
Yeah. Cherokee, Maggie Valley. You see the old roadside motels.
Kind of cool.
And
cool
and the really, the neat little mom and pop type operations.
The gem mining.
And gem mining. Oh yeah. That's definitely a fun thing to do.
Waterfalls, lots of waterfalls.
Waterfalls all over the place. Yep. Mm-hmm. Some you can drive right up to.
And that one was there in all that rain, the flooding.
Oh yeah.
Bridal Falls. You can literally just park right next to it, and you can even walk underneath it. And usually it's like kind of like a trickle, a little more than a trickle.
Yeah.
And with all the flooding and stuff, it actually was like a roaring waterfall. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, tons of waterfalls, lots of hiking trails.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them may not be fully passable, but those would be marked. I'm sure.
Probably take those down.
They're closed.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and take that down. Where's my cursor? There we go. All right. So all that to say that far western North Carolina is open for business. And if you ever come visit, say hello.
We were very fortunate out this way.
Yes,
that
we were.
We had very minimal damage, and we really appreciate that. And we are sensitive to our neighbors.
Yeah,
and we're doing everything we can to help.
We are
as well.
Between helping bring in relief supplies to collecting relief supplies at our business to send over to the affected communities.
Mm-hmm. I dropped some off today.
Yeah. So anything that you do coming to this area is not going to be a hindrance. I think that's one of the biggest things that people think. Oh, if I go to that area, I'm just going to get in the way of relief efforts. But that's not entirely true, especially in far western North Carolina, because while we're involved to some extent, it's not like our roads are closed down or our businesses are 100% focused on that. It's a part of what we do, yes, but you know, all the businesses in this area are still trying to operate their businesses. So anyway. Anything else?
Mm-mm.
No?
I don't think
All right.
so.
Well, we might just cut it a little bit short this week. And thank you guys for coming in. I am going to be probably working hard tomorrow to try to get our video done for Saturday.
Yes, because then I got to do a thumbnail for it.
Yeah.
Like chop chop.
You got to do a thumbnail real quick
Tomorrow's
for me.
Thursday already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
And we got a bowl tomorrow night. So.
Oh, that's right. I got to send a reminder to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, as much as we love pickleball and we're pickleball addicts, we also bowl now.
Yeah. Little Miss Thing over here got the high scratch. No, she didn't want me to say it. I mean, high scratch game last night. Yeah.
For the week.
For this, well,
actually, I think it is for the season.
It's only week 4, but yeah, still.
But thank you for shouting me out.
All right, guys. Like I say, I'm going to do my best to get the video out for Saturday, and I've got this weekend pretty much set aside, as far as I know. I don't have anything else planned, so I can knock out a couple more, and we can get a little bit ahead again, like we'd like to sit. All right.
Do we have enough videos?
Oh yeah. We've got our entire Celebrity Beyond set of videos.
Yes, and hey guys, just remember, we have 2 cruises that we still have not chosen. So it's on Celebrity, and that is coming. I mean, it was since August, right? So
gotta get in touch with Kendra.
Yeah, we do.
Get those things.
She had some stuff happen, so
yeah.
I should follow up. Her and I've kind of been going back. Are you doing okay? Are you doing okay? And she's got a place in Tampa.
Yeah, she does.
So where we used to live.
Another one of our friends that we knew from Tampa.
Shoot.
She now has a place in New York.
Yeah, and so. But anyway, yes. So if you guys have any ideas, it's on Celebrity. Let us know our itinerary or where you want to see us go. Something. Give us some ideas, because we don't know. There's so much going on that we don't know.
Celebrity go to Key West? I've never been to Key West. I'd like to go to Key West.
We can drive there from my dad's, right? It's a long
drive.
Well, it's 3.5 hours from Fort Lauderdale. And my dad is what, 40 minutes from there, half hour? So
like 4 hours from your dad's house to get down there. Yeah. Anyway.
It's like past Charlotte. Yeah. Thanks for listening to us.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to us babble on about
Lala.
Bunch of unimportant stuff. But we will catch you guys next time. From Peaks to Tides.
We'll see you on the next ride. Oh, so close. Be safe out there, everybody.